Hello, Sagittarius placements. Welcome to your July 2021 reading. This is Metanoia Tarot. My name is Brittany. I already have your cards out. I have your dice out because I forgot Scorpios, so I'm just going to already have them out. And I'm glad I have them out because, listen, this is every time I do a Sagittarius reading, it seems like it's always family related. This is a family reading. This relates to family. Or whoever's in your home. So the card that you have, the oracle card that you have is the empty room. Okay? The empty room is the vortex, the abyss, the nothing. The empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of the craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential, yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness, be with the impatience. The empty room has an immense power. Let others wonder what you are doing. If you can settle into the magic of emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. When light, spaciousness, potential possibility. When dark, addiction, insatiability, more for more's sake. The archetype of the empty room is also portrayed as a hungry ghost, always feeding and never satiated. A day of silence is a surefire way to harness the power of the empty room. This is giving me very much needing instant gratification in order to feel like, okay, whatever I'm doing is working, whatever is happening is actually happening, versus waiting for things to play out like they are going to play out. This card is a cry for patience. Be with the nothingness. Be with the impatience. That doesn't mean nothing is happening. That doesn't mean nothing can be there. There is possibility. There is potential. Don't just keep filling yourself up with things because you're not seeing results quick enough. Because then you're going to have a room full of stuff that you don't really need, or you don't really want, and you realize it, and it'll be too late. So this feels like a family reading. You've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Got the God of Swords, or the King of Swords. Okay. We got the Four of Swords in the reverse. The God of Wands in the reverse. And the Daughter of Wands in reverse, or the Page of Wands in the reverse. Okay. It feels like y'all want something to look a certain way, like as far as family, or you want the home to look a certain way. And there's potential for things to look this way. There's a possibility for things to look this way. But it's like you don't have the patience to wait for that to happen. So this is for some of you. Some of you could be so impatient and, feeling so hasty, that it's bringing a side of you out that is kind of hard to deal with. It's very combative behavior, argumentative. It's almost like a paranoia don't know if that's the word I wanted to use. Or just anxious. I won't say paranoia. It's like you're anxious about something, about this nothingness, right? About things not looking how you want them to look. And it's like you don't know how to communicate this. But also, you are in the midst of coming out of some sort of rest or healing. And that was with you personally. Now it's like you're going back into this family dynamic. And it's like you almost want everybody to be on the same page as you. But that's not how things work. Okay, I see with the two gods here, the two kings here, I feel like we're talking about the head of the household, the two people that are head of the household. And one person may not be as good of a leader as the other one. Or it feels that way. Because again, someone's not giving someone the space or the patience to live out their potential, or actually, leave room for possibility for this person. Or maybe it's yourself. Maybe you know that this is what you want. This is what you want to be, or this is what you want someone in your household to be. To be the authority, to be, and again, not again, because I didn't say it, or I already didn't say that, but the God of Swords, or the King of Swords, it's masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a man. This can translate to like the father, but it doesn't have to be. But if this is about a father figure in your life, Sagittarius placements, it seems like this is what you want. Or this is what you need. You could need, whether you need someone like that for you, or to work with you, someone who has the structure while you figure other things out, or this is what you need to become. Because with the Daughter of Wands, or the Page of Wands in the reverse, this is someone, when I ever see this card, at least in this context with these cards, feels like a need to grow up. Somebody needs to grow up. Somebody needs to kind of deal with their inner child things, and the way you can do that is by tapping into that part of you that does think things through a little more. Because I don't think I'm talking to children. I think I'm talking to people who are real, who may be with this nothingness, all this nothingness happening, all this need for patience. You're becoming more exposed to the parts of you that need work in this family dynamic. And it can be kind of, it's like you're trying to avoid dealing with it by starting arguments and kind of being kind of an asshole. Or someone's being this way. Someone's being that way. You can absolutely come out of some sort of healing or be like, okay, I've made peace with this thing, and realize, okay, there's still work to be done. Yeah. Because there's a lack of clarity here. This is also like, not having some sort of clarity and not using your intellectual abilities to their full capacity. And there's a need for you to do that. This is advice for you to tap into that, because you have it. You've done so much work. You've done some sort of healing work. you came out of some sort of rest. You've been given the opportunity to reflect on some things. So there is some sort of knowledge or insight or intelligence that you've gained. You have leveled up in some sort of way. So you have insight about how to deal with this, or deal with people in the family, because we may be talking about 3 different people here. We could be talking about somebody. We could be talking about a page, another king, 2 different kings, 2 different, you know, authoritative figures, or 2 adults, because we could be talking about a child, or just somebody a little younger, or who behaves younger, who's a little more childish. I feel like we're talking about an entire family here, in the roles that everybody is taking and how it's affecting everybody, but how there is also potential for things to be better. Let's see. Ten of Pentacles. This is definitely a family thing. I think you're frustrated because there's so much potential for y'all to be great and so stable, and, you know, be able to create something to pass down and to share, and you want to share in abundance with the entire family, and you see that, you see it, you see the potential of this. You see the potential of this. Bottom of the deck, we got the 5 of Swords in the reverse. You don't want conflict. You don't want that. And you're willing to do whatever it takes to get out of this energy here. You don't want to be in this energy. You don't want to be in this space with your loved ones, whether it's you creating the dynamic or someone else creating the dynamic, and you kind of wanting to bring some of the healing that you've gained into it. Because when we heal ourselves, we heal the person next to us, the person behind us, and the person in front of us. So it's about you being patient for everybody involved, though. Just because you went through a healing process and you've figured something out, mind you, healing is a lifelong thing. You're not just, oh, I'm healed. It doesn't work like that. And you understand that. But you have to apply that same understanding and wisdom to everybody else. We're all on different journeys. It doesn't matter if we're related or not. We're all dealing with different things. We could all have grown up in the same house and had different experiences. You can meet somebody who, wow, I relate to you. I feel like we went through the same thing. Still didn't go through the same thing. We still have different things to heal. We still have a different journey to go on. And it's about knowing that the same patience that you gave to yourself, you got to give to somebody else. The same potential you saw in yourself to heal and be better and do different, you have to give that to somebody else. So if you want this figure in your family, you have to be this figure, right? If you don't want these examples, this type of behavior, you know, the childishness and talking crazy and not being patient with anybody and being nasty towards people and abusing your power, if you don't want that, don't be that, right? If you don't want people starting unnecessary arguments because they're not mentally good, then don't be that. All right? If you want to be this, if you want to create structure and have some type of order in your household, and not on no like militant shit, but like stability, right? Some sort of stability, like not just financially, but like literally in the household. You walk in the house and you feel like, okay, shit is good today. You have the potential for that. You see it, but you have to give it to everybody else as well. You have to give everybody that patience and that grace. Okay? You gotta give that to everybody else. Yeah. Okay? Because the dice that you got, so I have this hold on, we're gonna get to the dice. It's really about balance and communicating. Preview of the dice. Am I right? A couple of cards. Yeah, stop trying to control everything. Share it in the reverse. You can't control everything. You can only control your process. You were able to go away, whether it was like mentally or like you kind of just found time to get to work on things. You were able to do that and come out of resting and have just gone through some sort of healing work, and you know, you worked on something. You were able to control that because you only can control you, correct? And you're frustrated because nobody else is doing what you did. But how do you know they're not doing what you did? How do you know that? Because it don't look like how you did it? Come on, Sagittarius. Come on now. So, with the Hierophant in the reverse, this makes me feel like you're going to have to do something different this time around. How would you usually do it? You try to help everybody, be in everybody's business because you know everything. You don't. I'm a Sagittarius sun, so I'm also reading my life. You understand me? You don't know everything. You do have wisdom. So just because you know that you can't just insert yourself in people's business and help them out does not mean you don't have wisdom. But you know what wisdom is? Knowing when to be quiet. Knowing when your help is needed and when it's not. And who are you to say that your help is the help that's going to help? You know what I mean? Like, so do something different this time. Do something different this time. If somebody comes to you and they say, I need some advice on this, or can I vent to you about this and get your feedback on this? Can I talk to you about this? Cool. But if not, don't insert yourself. The same patience you gave to yourself, give to somebody else, because you didn't have all the answers either. Okay, and the dice that you pulled, so I'm rolling astrology dice for all the signs. The dice is a house, a sign, and a planet. And if you're into astrology, if you're an enthusiast like myself, or you know, you're a pro, all you gotta do is look at your natal chart and then look at this house, this sign, and this planet, and see how it can be, see how it relates to the reading and how in your personal, you know, life or whatever. So we got the fourth house, family, home, roots, Libra, working with other people, balance, because this is literally you and other people. This reading is about you and other people and how you relate to other people in a partnership here. I feel like I see partners too with these two, the God of Swords and the God of Wands. Could be partners, and a child for some people. Could be. And Mercury, communicating, or knowing when not to communicate, or communicating that you don't want to communicate, or communicating that we can communicate, we can communicate about this, but we don't have to communicate about it right now. Becoming a better communicator. Okay? Yeah. Y'all can have this. You can have this with your family, but you can't control everything. And you can't get what you want by doing the same thing you've been doing. Okay? Alright, Sagittarius? Y'all are dope. It was a cool reading. Peace out.